I used to do a lot of running with Michael Bennett. We were training for a marathon. And I showed him my script because I knew he'd made feature films. And at this point, I didn't know if it was any good. Like, I had kind of no idea whether it was totally crap or okay. So it's funny how you can be afraid to show people your work, but if you don't, you're never going to find out if it's any good, really. So I showed him the script, and it was about 26 pages. And he was like, oh, it's great, you just need to cut it in half. And I remember at the time thinking, that's impossible, what are you talking about? I can't cut it in half. And like, I'd slice off a page or something. But I learned a lot about crafting a short film through Michael and Anna Marbrook and a couple of other people that sort of oversaw it, Juliet Weber, who used to be a short film manager at the Film Commission. And it was kind of by asking these people, like, what do you think of this, and do you have any advice? And I shaved it down to 13 or 14 pages. And through that, it wasn't just about the length, it was sort of understanding how a short film works and how it's really different to a feature film. So when I approached you to be the DOP for Friday Tigers, I think you'd just done Time Slow, Sally Train's feature. And I knew I was going to act and direct in it, but I didn't really tell anyone else. So I was sussing it out a little bit with you, saying, okay, it's my first film I've ever made, and I also want to act. Is this okay? And you were like, probably a little bit freaking out, but you're like, yeah, totally, it's fine. And so I went away and thought about that, and I was like, right, this is going to be quite tricky. So I quickly whipped up a script for the Fook, the Four Eyes United Club, and that came quite easily, and because it's quite a fun script, and it's not really an intense drama or anything. And I think I wrote 2 drafts for it because I really didn't expect much from it. I think I literally wrote 1 draft and then did a spell check, and then sent it to you and said, hey, should we make this? And you guys were like, FleetSt were making a bunch of short films to put on next year, so the timing was really awesome. And we shot it in 2 days for $400, I think, with catering. And then it started to look quite good, and so we went for crowdfunding. So I wrote the Fook. I read an article in a Frankie magazine about an angry guy, angry about the fact that he had to wear glasses his whole life, and then he became really cool. And why do people wear glasses for fashion? And I wanted to write a response to that article. So at first I was just, that was the goal. Like, why would a girl wear fashion glasses? I remember one time I did wear glasses at when I was really young, early 20s, at a music festival, and I was hanging out with a guy with glasses, and he found out that they were fake glasses, and he got really upset with me, and he said, you're mocking me, you're mocking my people, as a joke. And so it was kind of inspired by that little thing. And how I did notice that when I wore glasses, I would get more attention from guys with glasses, and then I'd take them off, and then, you know. So a little bit of that mixed with just a character that I wanted to understand why someone would wear glasses for 5 years as a lie. It took a while in the edit because like I said, the script wasn't incredible. So we actually ended up kind of rewriting it in the edit. And that was awesome too, because I learnt that you rewrite a script, like through the directing process, through the actors, through the edit, you know, through everything. So that was just a fantastic exercise for me, and ended up being really fun, and people really responded to it. And we submitted to Show Me Shorts Festival and got in. And it was just great because we just had no expectations whatsoever for that film. And then we Morgan Lee Stewart came on, and she was submitting to overseas festivals I didn't even know about. And we got into Palm Springs. And it was amazing. Palm Springs itself is a really crazy place because it's sort of, everyone's about 65 and above, or 70 and above, and everyone's in a very good mood, and they want to run these festivals, and it's just a really joyful time. Super hot, it's like 42 to 45 degrees every day, and we're in the middle of the desert in the middle of summer. And they have this incredible film festival where people come from all over the world, and it's just short films. So the festival's focused on you, you're not like second rate to the feature filmmakers. And the thing about the Fook being in there was that there really wasn't anything else that was like it. Like, it was quite unique within the festival, and we were in a program called Identity Crisis, which was a really strong program. And it was great meeting Australian filmmakers. Tended to kind of meet up with them, other New Zealand filmmakers from Wellington that we'd never met, and then seeing New Zealand films over there. And yeah, it was really valuable, and learning the New Zealand attitude at a festival. Like, we weren't really going around going, our film's amazing, and I'm trying to manoeuvre how we will tackle festivals in the future, because it's just not really in our make up to talk about ourselves like that. But I think there is a level you have to kind of be proud of what you do. And so that was a really important exercise for me, because I wasn't like the lead actor in the 4 Hours United Club. I wasn't in every scene, but it was still great to have that experience, A, directing, and B, acting and directing. So that when we came to Friday Tigers, which was about 3 months later from the Fook, we kind of had a system, and we had the same first AD, DOP director combination, which was kind of the most important. And the reason why I was able to do acting and directing, because if you don't have a DOP that's understanding and you don't have a first AD that's onto it and it doesn't pressure you, because I think if you're acting, you're sort of in a different headspace, and you're directing, and if you're feeling a time pressure, it's not going to work. So I think I knew once I had those elements and a supportive producer, I knew it was going to be possible. I don't really know if I'm very similar to Anna. I mean, I guess I am. Like, she's a fighter, and I guess I'm a bit of a fighter in life. But I wanted to play something quite different to what I would be cast normally by other people. And that was kind of one thing I really wanted to do. And I know this sounds really silly, but things like in television, it's always so manicured, and they're worried about things like bra straps showing and hair ties on wrists and simple things like that. And I wanted to make something that was real, and because women do have bra straps showing and hair ties on wrists. I know it sounds so silly, but that was kind of the first time I was like, I really want to write that character. I remember that I was really nervous about making a short film that looked like television, because I've been seeing a few short films and I was like, why do they still look like TV? And I remember coming to see you and sitting down and going, we cannot make a film that looks like television. And then we worked through ways to make it not look like that. And we were looking at different references from movies that I liked, and or ideas that I liked. And we tried with Friday Tigers with, we did a lot of handheld stuff with whenever Anna, the main character, was with her child and with her friend at school, like the uni, if you've seen the film, he's kind of like the good energy in her life. And so we were playing with like a handheld idea for that. And then whenever the ex-partner was in, we made sure we're sort of like quite locked off, and it was quite claustrophobic shot. I think the challenging things were always the stuff leading up to it. So, I mean, you're not paying people and you feel stressed out about that, I think, the whole time, and you're requiring a lot of energy and time from people, and things going wrong, like when you're trying to organise stuff and it's not falling into place, or, you know, I think that was more stressful. And I think once you start shooting, you kind of become a robot in a way. Like, I think I get a little bit of anxiety before I do anything, and now I'm directing music videos, and I have anxiety like a week before I shoot it. And then the day you wake up, you're kind of just like automatic. It's like you've got a day to shoot it, or whatever, you know, you've got a certain amount of hours, you've got to get these shots done, and you just have to do it. So I think I'm someone that needs to be pushed off the cliff, and then I know I'm okay. It was hard editing, because you cut out a lot, and then you cut beautiful shots. You know, you have to literally kill your babies. And we had some beautiful shots that we planned together, and they're like technically amazing, and I was like crying in them or whatever, and then I'd get the advice, you need to get rid of that. And I'd be like, oh my gosh. There was one shot that we planned, and it was this beautiful tracking out, revealing the house, and then my character walks into the lounge and she starts crying, and it was like, oh, so cool. And then that went, you know, I learned a lot. Like it was about the audience does the work. Like, don't do all the hard emotional work for them. Let the audience feel something. And also, it just was in the middle of the film, and it slowed it down, and people thought it was the end of the film and things like that. And I think that can be a mistake people make if they edit their own film and they direct, and it's just so slow, because they fall in love with their shots and they fall in love with the performances. But if it doesn't help the whole story, you kind of have to get rid of it. I don't know. When it was starting to take shape and people were liking it, I was hoping that it would be seen somewhere. Like, I was hoping it would make it into some festival. But it's really hard to know, because every festival is very subjective, and they have kind of different themes and feels, and everyone's like, oh no one, and it won't get into anything in Europe, but America might like it. And you know, it's like you get all these different voices, and MIFF's very hard to get into. Only 4 New Zealand short films got into MIFF, like, it's crazy. And I really wanted to go to Melbourne, because my mum's from Melbourne and my family's there, and it was great going there, because I had like cousins and aunties and great aunties and uncles coming who don't really know what I do, you know? So I kind of was really stoked we got into MIF, and I think we found out about New Zealand before, so we found out we'd been shortlisted, and we're like, wow, that's awesome, 12 films, wow. And then we got into the finals and it was amazing. And I had no idea there'd been 90-something films submitted, like that was great. And then getting into MIF and getting into the Accelerator program, which is 14 directors from Australia and New Zealand, and it's sort of fostering future filmmakers who will make features. And there was 3 Kiwis that got into that. But yeah, just so people understand the festival way, like the 2 other filmmakers that went to MIF with me didn't even get into the top 6 in New Zealand. So it really shows you, like, it's people's opinion. In Palm Springs, they were talking a lot about how they might get 6 films submitted about the same thing, like euthanasia, for example, and that they can't program 6 films on the same thing. So it really depends on the themes of the festival and what they're looking for, and it doesn't necessarily mean they don't like your film. So that's kind of something that we've really learnt a lot, been told a lot at all these different festivals. But I was actually about to watch a film in Australia, and I was on the phone and I think I texted you to say what time are the awards, and I think I texted you, or did I email? I think I emailed you a mini speech because Julia said you better write one just in case. So I'd sent you like this paragraph. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I think I found out from Facebook, from Peter Berger, saying congratulations, and then another text from someone saying you won, and then someone else, like a guy that I used to work for, and I was like, Rocco, what's going on? But I think you were on stage, and then so I wasn't sure whether we'd won the audience award or the jury award, and then I think you got back to us saying we won both. So it was pretty exciting, and I think I texted my mum and my boyfriend, and then my mum rang me, and the movie was about to start, and I was like, but I was with Lisa from the Film Commission, and she was also receiving text messages. So it was really cool, but it was all weird. It was very weird. So I've written another short, and we're being shortlisted for funding with the commission. So we find out within like 4 weeks, soon. We find out really soon if we'll get funding for that. And I've just been thinking around ways if we can make it without the funding. So we're going for $30,000 this time. So upping it a little bit. And yeah, I think I still want to make the film, but it's always really hard working out how to do it, whether you're going to do crowdfunding or find someone to give you some money to do it. And then in the meantime, I'm making music videos. I've just started making music videos. I've made 2 for Anna Coddington. I'm doing one for Latin Aotearoa, which will be really exciting. And then another one for Anna Coddington. And so
you've got one coming out soon, don't you?
Yes, we have one releasing very soon. But yeah, I think music videos is awesome because you can make it in sort of a month to 6 weeks rather than a year to 18 months. And that's the way for me to try different styles and be able to write little narratives if I want to, but get it done quickly.